Hello and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports, and another She-Hulk quick hitter edition of My Mom's Basement. And actually, at least for this first season, the final She-Hulk quick hitter. And as much as people haven't been vibing with this show, I hate that this is the last one, Clem, because this has been a blast for me, and especially the last two episodes, the finale in particular, was awesome.
As crazy as it sounds, I didn't think I'd be here a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, whenever this started. I'd be upset if they had a secret episode next week to make it an even 10. Like the way they ended this was perfect. And shout out to all of us that got in on this. And like the haters are going to hate. Some people are just going to hate blindly, whatever. It is the internet world we live in. The fact this show went full meta on us and basically was like, yeah, we're making a show about, and it's like the show is about all the trolls who hate on all this shit that, people who don't look like them, think like it, whatever it may be. I was like, man, it was a goddamn masterpiece. It was a meta masterpiece. And then that was before all the stuff at the end that we'll get into where the fourth wall, shattered, the fifth wall, sixth wall, the whole house is just crumbling. It was fucking awesome, which again, it sounds like She-Hulk was like that in the comic books. I didn't really realize that. I just stared at her card as like a prepubescent boy. But the title of the show, whose show is this? I was like, oh, this is going to be fun.
This was one of the best Disney Plus shows. I really believe that. I think it was better than Miss Marvel. I think it was a lot better than Miss Marvel, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it more than Moon Knight, I think, week to week. I think it might have been more enjoyable than Falcon and the Winter Soldier, even. Maybe not a better made show. The CGI, there were the issues with that. There were the two episodes before the penultimate and finale that felt like we could have done the show without him. Titania wasn't always the best villain. But just in terms of it being an easy watch, every week before I knew it, the episode was over. I got a couple of references to the Marvel Universe that I liked. I got a couple of laughs and quips out of the characters. And I got some fourth wall breaking scenes that were so aware and self aware that they even in this episode made fun of the CGI.
Yeah, exactly. They made fun of the CGI as well as the people making fun of the CGI too. Right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It and again, if people didn't like it, whatever, I don't know what to tell you. This was right up my alley. I didn't even think of this, putting in the notes that we should rank this. At the end, we have to do our fast food too. I didn't even think of the fast food.
Oh, I didn't think of the fast food.
So we'll go through the episode at the end. We'll see if we can figure out. I have a couple ideas of what it might be for me.
Okay.
But even dude, so I'm excited here, and obviously like the stuff every week we have like the She-Hulk. Every week it changes where it says, attorney for hire when she got laid off, all that kind of stuff. And then the fucking opening right off the jump, we're going back to the 70s.
So this was a huge, huge mark out moment for me because one of my early birthdays, I had like a superhero themed birthday. One of my aunts got me a DVD that had two episodes of the Lou Ferrigno Hulk on it. It was like a 2-pack. It was one featuring Thor and one featuring Daredevil. So
wow,
they actually did the Daredevil thing, and this obviously brought Daredevil and Hulk together in a weird way. But when they do the Lou Ferrigno intro, I was like, holy shit, I haven't seen this since I was like 8 years old. And now here it is, and they nailed it. When she just gives the worst delivery ever of, you won't like me when I'm angry, and stares at the camera a little bit too long. They do the split screen and everything. That was awesome. And then she wakes up in a prison, almost as if that was like a dream sequence. She wakes up in kind of the Abomination prison. Mallory Book comes in, offers her a plea deal to wear a bracelet after she freaked out the last episode, became She-Hulk in front of everybody, and she can't become She-Hulk ever again. Her parents pick her up, and her dad has such a great line where he gives her a big hug and in a supportive father way goes, "People get arrested every day, sweetie." That made me laugh so hard.
Jen's dad is elite. Let's just call it what it is. This show, they definitely took their shots at the male gender a whole lot. Jen's dad was as much
like Miss Marvel's dad. The two dads, I want that crossover.
Yeah, exactly. Those two guys got to meet. We got to make that happen in the MCU. People go to prison every day. I mean, that's definitely been uttered before, and I looked at my little age, and I'm like, I love you, but hopefully it's for nothing all that too bad. The Blonsky's cage too. Like, yeah, I didn't see that coming when this series started. Is she was there, and also in the 70s opening when it had the computer and it was like Intelligentsia, it's like the trolls like, and she's like, Miss, what does she says? Like, She-Hulk is stupid, and she writes, "You're stupid."
Jen moves in with her parents. She's trying to figure out who the Hulk King is. With Nikki, Nikki, also someone who people thought was sus during the season. It was nice that at the end of the series, Nikki and Pug, truly good friends. Nothing sus about them. They were, since the start, really trying to figure things out for Jen. And there she sees like a douche on TV saying, "Oh, I dated her. Yeah, she's absolutely crazy. She's out of her mind." And she sits down in her bed, and a narrator starts talking like Jen is at her worst. And she's like, "No, no, no, we're not that corny. We're not doing a fucking
We're not doing
narrator."
narrating.
And she goes to stay with Emil. And now I thought in this moment she is going to go, and there's going to be no resort, no meditation place there at all. That it was all a front for that 1 week to get her to delete the number or whatever. But that's not really the case. It still is there. Emil's not there. Blonsky, he's not there. She gets welcomed in though and everything. And then Nikki starts doing research on Intelligentsia. She finds out about an event, and she hears that it's got to be like a bro event, got to be a guy. So she enlists Pug to help her. And he goes in with an AirPod in, just one AirPod in. I was like, is that not the most fucking obvious sus thing you could possibly do in this event? But it becomes a funny bit where she's telling him what to say, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like I absolutely hate her." And she tells him to be mad about She-Hulk sleeping with the boss, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm absolutely furious." And who is the Hulk King? But that douchebag Todd. He could be fuckface for this show.
Yeah, he could be. We've had fuckface, I think, in every show, and he's definitely the fuckface for here. The drops the net. Oh, that's just because of nepotism. I like dropping all the things that angry people say. I loved it. It was fucking
buzzwords.
Great, man. Yeah, buzzwords.
And who is the guest speaker at this event? Abomination himself. I almost said Emil Blonsky, but it's not Emil Blonsky. It's the Abomination. The way he walks in and he's got the clothes on, he's waving to everybody and he's slapping hands. That really cracked me up. I was like, man, I want to like this guy. It's tough that he's speaking to the Hulk King event, but he's not really doing the worst thing. When we find out, like, yeah, he's turning into Abomination, but he really isn't wrecking anything. It's for speaking engagement. That's it.
At first, I thought he was the guy behind Intelligentsia. I'm like, oh, god damn it. Because we had talked about it when we first met him. I think he's turned over a new leaf, Blonsky here. I'm feeling good about him. And again, this is the thing when you podcast these things, it's like you got to live and die with your takes. By the way, Team Damon looks pretty good right now. Just going to say that. For no spoilers for anyone not watching. But then you're just like, oh, Blonsky, you're part of this group. And I'm thinking he's the one who got everything set up. But yeah, pretty much it's all.
He's, kind of harmless. He just wanted to give a little speech.
And I feel like Marvel really did mousetrap the trolls for anyone that did like hate watch this show. And then you basically got fucking just snapped in the trap. It's like, you guys are, this is what you guys sound like, are those people on the screen. It's like, it's a fucking perfectly fine show without all this other stuff.
If the CGI, if they nailed that, they would have been looking at the show in a completely different light, I think.
Yeah. And with these kind of people, I've realized this as a Mets fan. There was this, I don't know how much you caught on Twitter. KFC would go on his rants every so often and on our podcast. But there was this group of Mets fans that would always just complain. You know one. You know one of those Mets fans, right? He said the Mets were going to be under 500. They won 101 games this year. And they didn't obviously do anything in the playoffs. But there's just so many people just can't enjoy something as it's going on. Baseball is about the journey as much as it is the destination. And it's like, if you couldn't enjoy this season of the Mets, like you're just never, and same with like, if you're just going to blindly hate something, like what's the point of even following it, whether it's baseball, whether it's She-Hulk or, any kind of like piece of content. It's like, just try to enjoy it for what it is. If it stinks, it stinks. And if it's good, enjoy the fuck out of it. We've seen shows that stunk on this, right? We've had a recap shows that stunk on this. It's not fun, but at the same point, like, this shit was fucking entertaining the whole way through, and I don't know. I just
where that's the most entertaining as well.
Yes, and then it hits the
fan. Todd reveals himself as the Hulk King in front of everyone when Jen walks in, because it's like an event at her little resort where she was staying or whatever. She walks in. Todd reveals himself, gives himself the super serum, and she pretty much immediately breaks the fourth wall, and she's like, "Oh wait, what? This is what the finale? No, this is our finale." The fucking wall crashes in. Who is it? Titania. When the smoke settles, she's here. And then the Hulk drops in, the actual Hulk, Bruce Banner Hulk. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? This is what we're doing with the finale right now? This is an absolute mess. So it goes to the Disney Plus menu. And she's like, all right, hold on. I got to break my fucking inhibitor now. She punches through the She-Hulk logo. And then she's like, we're going to go down to Avengers Assembled, which is the Marvel documentary series on every Marvel show, movie, whatever. She goes down to the soundstage, the set. She talks to the writers. And she's like, what the fuck? This is messy. You're just doing the typical superhero thing with me with the big CGI battle at the end. Like, this is a very low stakes show. Why don't we keep the stakes here? They're like, sorry, this is what Kevin wants. She's like, all right, let me talk to Kevin. And now we're like, okay, are you fucking kidding me? She's going to go talk to Kevin Feige, which we heard rumors of at the beginning of the show, like Kevin Feige might make a cameo or whatever. They were kind of right, but pretty much wrong. In another crazy way, she finds not Kevin, but Kevin. And this is a robot that has created the entire MCU. She's watching the movies on a screen in the midst of this. And I don't know if everyone picked up on this because I didn't in real time until I saw a tweet about it. Kevin has what looks like Kevin Feige's hat on. And that is the coolest detail they've ever put in anything, maybe. They joke about the VFX. He's like, why don't you turn back into Jen right now, but do it while you're off screen because our VFX artists have worked or already onto another project. She asked him about what's up with all the daddy issues. Tony Stark, this guy. Everyone's got daddy issues.
Star-Lord has double daddy issues.
Star-Lord double daddy issues. She's like, when are the X-Men coming in, by the way? He's like, I can't tell you that. She even looks at the camera, gives a thumbs up in that moment, though. It's like, how do you not fucking love this? This entire scene, this is one of my favorite like scenes and even directions that any of the Marvel shows have had.
It was perfect, man. This was everything we were hoping from. This is more than I hoped for the show, right? It was
definitely.
It was
blew our expectations away. We said that about Miss Marvel. We were like, we didn't think this show was going to be for us, and it wound up being pretty good. But like when we compare She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, I liked Miss Marvel. I don't mean to take anything away from that. This was so much more enjoyable for me, where I never would have expected that. Where like, I loved this finale, start to finish. I thought it was awesome.
It was so fucking good. I think even like the haters have to admit that last 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. And by the way, because it's also like when all those he injects himself with her blood, and I'm like, oh god, are we really doing this?
I thought the same thing. They got me hook, line, and sinker. I'm like, are you fucking like him?
Hulk's just coming out of fucking space at the perfect time, and I'm ready to get like the all right, angry nerd comic book guy from Simpsons, worst ending ever, right?
Yep.
And here we are, and then she fucking flips it on its head.
She edits it literally. She's like, why don't we take his Hulk powers away?
Yeah.
Why don't we make Abomination just feel remorse and own up to his actions? Why don't we take Bruce? We don't need him. Save that for the next movie. And he's like, but he was going to reveal. And she's like, no. And you're like, oh, what did he say? And she makes it in the daytime. So it goes back to the finale. She also has a very funny joke about smashing Matt Murdock. She's like, why don't you throw Daredevil in there as well?
He goes, why don't you throw Daredevil? A woman has needs, right? And then she goes, I smash fourth walls and bad endings. And sometimes Matt Murdock. What a fucking line. My girl Jen. Oh, I bought low on Jen stock too. I forgot how low I bought Jen stock, and that's going through the fucking roof. Oh, my
amazing line.
Gracious.
Amazing line. She goes back to the finale now, like back to the actual storyline, and everything is sort of wrapped up. In this version, she walks up to Todd. He's expecting her to hit him. She's just like, I'll fucking see you in court, motherfucker, because she's a lawyer, after all, attorney at law. And Daredevil shows up too late. He's like, I'm ready to help Jen. She's like, you're late, but I'm glad you're here. What's going on? Blonsky goes back to prison. He signs a thing that says he'll go back for 10 years. 10 years, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Murdock, in a very, Ken Jack described it as a fast and furious barbecue scene, goes to a barbecue dinner with Jen's family. Bruce shows up in the middle of it with his new son, Scar, which we kind of speculated on, maybe a World War Hulk tease. It was a World War Hulk tease. Scar looks like they just copied and pasted Mark Ruffalo's face onto a new Hulk's body and gave him like fun hair. And then in the post-credit scene for the entire show, we see, or I guess mid-credit scene, I'll get that right for you.
Yep.
Abomination takes up Wong's offer, goes to Carmitage.
So Abomination's out of pocket again. I like that. I like that he's with our boy Wong. It's like that's kind of a fourth wall moment too. He's like, yeah, there's a lot of TV shows like this is the peak age of TV or something like that. So everyone's just having a fucking ball, just breaking the fourth wall. Which, by the way, when she said when Kevin says, and by the way, Kevin, which I love the what was the knowledge enhanced vision interconnectivity nexus. That was just
and he's an AI who's like almost always right on the MCU, right? Yeah. She's like almost. He's like, some projects are better than others, but I'll let the internet decide. Which is also like, holy shit, that I took that as like Kevin Feige knows that some of these movies are bad.
Dude, the secret to life in all aspects of life, in at least professional life, we know this is Barstool. He's self-deprecating. It's like anyone who thinks they're fucking perfect. No one likes someone who thinks they're fucking perfect. We all know we're not perfect. The biggest jokes at Atlanta Barstool is when we know we're fucking idiots. That guy is a billion times more successful and smarter than any of us. I appreciated that. And by the way, you did notice that writer's room had a whiteboard. We didn't see a whiteboard with Kevin, which would have been nice. There was a couple of whiteboards there. I'm gonna have to go back and take.
There was whiteboards with post-it notes, like
Yeah,
it was like sectioned off for episodes too. I was
exactly.
also thinking they make Jen sign an NDA as soon as she goes into Marvel, and they're like they call the cops anyway, and they're like, everyone has to sign an NDA or whatever. There's a couple freeze frames where they just freeze on like a full page of text, and I'm like, there's got to be Easter eggs in that text.
Oh, the Easter egg people are working overtime. They probably don't even have anything till like probably Friday or Saturday at the absolute earliest. I think I read this somewhere that when he says the visual effects team is going somewhere else, they said like the little Wakanda music played in the background.
Oh,
So
really?
so there's a lot of shit that I mean
I
we don't
missed
even
that,
have
but that's brilliant. Being that's the next project.
day of. So also our boy Jose told us that Elektra and Daredevil, that's like a thing.
Oh, big time, yeah.
I fucking hate Elektra, I think, right now. I'm Team Jen. I can't. Elektra's going to have to sell me because Jen seems like the kind of person to be like, yeah, he's banging someone else. It's all gravy. But I don't know, man. It was just someone being at that fucking, like you said, Fast and Furious barbecue. The dad's kind of like, kids are very expensive in LA. Yeah, like, dude, oh man, anyone who has had a girlfriend and things are getting serious, it's never fun when you're just getting grilled by the parents. So shout out him and Scar. So I guess that's going to be a big thing with. It sounds like Hulks are trending right now. If you have Hulk stock, you're getting some more Hulk shit coming. So that was very cool.
Shout out Ruffalo. He deserves his own movie.
Yeah, shout out Ruffalo and shout out.
Never got that, and he actually had that quick scene where we see him fight Abomination for like a quick moment before she redoes everything. But I was like, oh shit, it's Ruffalo's Hulk fighting Abomination this time.
We got our rematch, and I was like, man, we're not going to see Tim Roth for 10 years, and then it's like, boom, no, he's coming back in our lives. So
I don't know what he'll be in next.
Yeah,
maybe Thunderbolts. Like we kind of like thought it was weird that he wasn't in that picture, but he's with Wong.
Fuck, we said like episode 1, we're like, he's going to join the Thunderbolts. Whenever we saw Emil, we say he was going to join Thunderbolts, so we were wrong on that, it turns out.
They do need like kind of a Hulk, though. They just have like 3 super soldiers on the Thunderbolts now.
That's true. Oh, so what do we do for our thumbnail today? Do we do like X-Men confirmed?
X-Men confirmed.
Kevin Feige
trolls fans.
Kevin Feige trolls fans.
People get clicking on that one. I'll do it. That was pretty good.
There you go. That's pretty good.
All right. I love making the thumbnails every week, and our next Marvel recap will be Werewolf by Night. I watched Werewolf by Night. I loved it. Have you seen it yet, Clem, or not?
I've not seen it. I looked at it last night, and I was like, is this kid worthy? I feel like this isn't a kid thing.
No, it's because especially the whole thing's in black and white. I feel like kids don't love that, especially like young kids who don't watch anything in black and white, don't have to watch anything in black and white. It's more of an adult thing, a little violent too for the kids.
Yeah,
but I think you'll dig it.
Okay, so I'm gonna check that out. We'll get that one banged out next. We have Black Adam coming up for the Marvel stuff.
DC actually.
DC, I'm sorry. I'm in comic book stuff.
Yeah,
we're doing this the same day as Star Wars. It's a lot of
there's a lot
bleeding together right now. Oh man, let me just say it again. I fucking really enjoyed this show. It was so much.
Enjoyed it. Yeah,
I went in with decent expectations. And there was, I think, probably 2.5 episodes that got a little slow.
Agreed.
The wedding and the Megan Thee Stallion, I'd say, were probably in that time
Megan Thee Stallion. There were maybe 3 episodes that got slow because the 2 before the penultimate with Daredevil, I remember feeling like, all right, like they were the 2 without any cameos.
Yeah, but I love meta shit. It's my sense of humor. Maybe everyone doesn't have the same, but when I blog, I sometimes will just start writing meta. It's like, oh, who am I? I'm just, a guy trapped in your computer that is typing. Like, I just like that kind of shit. So, man, when she threw the fucking Disney Plus menu, what are we talking? She threw X-Men and she gave the thumbs up, man. This is fucking nerd chum right here. We're fucking eating it up. Give it to me more. So I don't think we'll have that level of like comedy or that type of comedy or fourth wall breaking in the future, because I think that's a She-Hulk thing. That's true. Yeah, we do have Deadpool. Oh man,
Also, those are two characters I'd like to see interact as well. I want to
big
see Jen
time.
and Deadpool like break the fourth wall together.
Oh man, imagine she's defending him in court and stuff like I can see
That,
that.
or even like he breaks the fourth wall and she's like, "Hey, this is my thing," and he's like, "Who
Yeah.
the fuck are you? I've been here." Like something like that, and they get into a little fight over it. Like they would play so well off of each other too. Ryan Reynolds and Tatiana Mosley.
You throw She-Hulk in a movie that's rated R too, because I mean she was pushing the limits of Disney Plus. She was
Yeah,
she had a
you could
body
let her
count
finish
rising.
that Steve Rogers fucks.
I forgot about. Man, this show was fucking. So I don't even know. Like ranking on the fly. I wouldn't have it.
I don't
Maybe.
know how to rank it on the fly. I feel like we need to sleep on that
Yeah, like Loki.
with
It's
the rest
behind
of the shows.
Loki, right?
Behind Loki, even though WandaVision, like I didn't love the finale as much, I still think WandaVision is higher based on like the full show. There's something to be said though for She-Hulk ending so strong. Best two episodes were the last two.
Yeah,
And that's like such a huge thing where some finales have led to kind of letdowns in the MCU. Them leaving off on this, it leaves the audience wanting more. Like I'm
yeah.
ready to see more of She-Hulk already.
More comedy, more half-hour shows, episodes, right? Stuff like that. Really,
Yeah.
I think goes a long way. All right, fast food item. I have a few in mind here. I'll go first, so I'll let you think of yours longer. So it's something that I thought could be good. I'd never had it, and this is a really high. I didn't see this coming when I started the show. It's the fucking chalupa for me, and I love the chalupa at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And I heard the word chalupa for years, and I just never had it. I always be a quesadilla guy. I always was a little nervous about Taco Bell. You hear all the stories, the urban legends about it when you're kids, stuff that might be in there, what the meat's made out of. So I joined Taco Bell very late. When I had the chalupa, I was like, oh fuck, I didn't even know this was possible. And it opened the whole menu in my eyes. So this She-Hulk, I don't know, man. It's just it's everything I was hoping it was going to be, and then some. So chalupa for me from Taco Bell.
I think I've got one. I think I'm going to keep it in kind of the Mexican food realm. And I'm going to go to Moe's. And I'm going to go a steak stack from Moe's. I'm not sure if anyone knows this. It's basically kind of like the Crunch Wrap from Taco Bell. But I'm going to Moe's because I got to be honest, I was pretty loyal to Taco Bell for years. A long time. I loved our Bruce Banner Taco Bell. He was the best,
wow.
right? But then my mom moved somewhere where there was a Moe's close, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. I don't expect to like this. There's a lot in the Crunch Wrap stack or whatever. A lot of ingredients that I'm putting in there. A lot of things that maybe don't work together. You think Abomination, Wong, Daredevil, all these characters. But goddamn, I love it. And I'll go back to it, and I'll eat that steak stack every time. It's an easy eat. It's an easy watch. She-Hulk is the steak stack.
There we go, baby. And you know, you might be feeling might be hurting a little when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
That just comes with the territory. We know what we're getting, right? We know what we're getting. And that's the thing. I kind of like felt like shit being a man half the time. Like that there are criticisms of the show we can have. Like men were just the bad guys, or there was the case where you had the Matt Murdock and the dad. That's fine.
Pug, I guess. Those were the only and I guess the Drip Broker. Yeah, Drip Broker was all right.
Drip Broker was fucking pretty. That's a hell of a name too. So it's like that's all the criticisms were fine, but if you couldn't enjoy this, like Kev said, like KFC said with the Mets, it's like if the Mets next year, like they lose DeGrom and they lose Diaz and they win 89 wins, you'd be like, man, I wish I enjoyed that 101 win season a lot more when it was going on. And I mean,
there's probably two camps too. I don't know if I would enjoy it as much if I were a single guy sitting alone watching it by myself. I think there's an aspect of watching it with a girlfriend, watching it with a daughter, watching it with a wife, where obviously there are aspects of the show that lean into more of a female-centric vibe, which that's what they're going for with fucking She-Hulk Attorney at Law. What was it, McBeal? Ally McBeal?
Ally McBeal, yeah.
People compared it to, yeah. They're going for that vibe. I think if you do watch it with the intended audience, it's a different experience.
And you know what's funny? Sienna said during the Marvel opening, she goes, "Oh, Dad, that was Lady Thor." Like she saw, I guess she's in the new openings now ever since Love and Thunder came out. And then you see these guys from Intelligentsia who are like, "And Lady Thor, oh, gross!" And I got a little chuckle to myself there. So yeah, that's a fair point as well. That's a fair point as well. But again, like you don't want to enjoy it for what it is. I don't know if anything will touch that like last 5-10 minutes in terms of like nerdy happy feelings in my stomach. I don't know if any of the MCU has really touched that. I guess there was some Loki parts with Kang, and then there
Loki
was
stuff with Kang was pretty like he overlooked the entire universe in a way, and then they split the multiverse up, which is crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of
finale let us down, I think.
Yeah,
mostly the boner thing.
The the boner. A lot of the times it was like reading on Reddit with WandaVision. That's how I got my my jollies with WandaVision. So this was
shout out She-Hulk though. Shout out the writers. Shout out the team behind it. Even the CGI team who, let them put in a little joke about the CGI at the end. I saw some people already giving Marvel shit about that. Like, you're making jokes about the overworked artists and underpaid. And it's like, this is a pretty harmless joke.
I hate this world we live in. God damn it. Why can't anything just be a joke?
It's a pretty harmless, self-aware joke that I'm sure the CGI artists were like, yeah, poke the fun at it, because you poke fun at yourself and less people are poking fun at you. That's the classic thing you do with bullies. So shout out to She-Hulk. At the end, it was a courtroom drama show, just as she said, and it was her show. I'm excited to see more and World War Hulk and everything. And we'll see you with a Werewolf by Night recap soon. Look out for that. Maybe we'll do the whole. How about this? We'll do the whole Werewolf by Night recap in black and white.
I like that. That works. And give us your fast food ratings in the comments for She-Hulk. Hey, listen, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it. It's fine. You say it's fucking like a McDonald's burger on the floor that bum threw up. That's fine.
But give us that comment.
It'll be funny.
All right. Thanks, guys.